Okay. Shalom Aleichem, Bruchim Habayim. We're continuing in Mishna Berura. We're learning Siman Samach Tes. We're still in Sif Aleph. We're learning the parameters of being purest al Shema. And the Ramah was speaking about, and we saw a very interesting Magen Avram yesterday, when you what would be more important, being Samech Gula Latfila or hearing Kedusha? So the Mishna Berura brought a situation that somebody who came late to shul, he didn't hear Baruch Hu and Kedusha, and he's afraid he's not going to have a minyan. So we let him be Paris al Shema, Daven the Shemona Esrei, to be able to get Kedusha, and then he'll say Shema, even though he's not being Somech Gula Tefila. And the Magen Avraham says, no, it's better to be Somech Gula Tefila. Smichos Gula Tefila supersedes even the mitzvah of Kedusha. Okay. The Ramah then said that you cannot be Paris al Shema at a time that you're not to talk. You can't be mafsik in these matters, the Ramah said, between Gula Latfila or in Kriya Shema and the Brachos. It's asur for the Shliach Tzibur to be mafsik between Kriya Shema and Tfila, or in Kriya Shema and the Brachos to be Paris al Shema for those who come late. After the Tzibur already began Kaddish Baruch Hu and they started Yotzer Ar. Then the Ramah says, "Avo bebirchas arvish he rishus and marv, which is only rishus yachal hafsik loitzi achir midei chavasam." Then the chazan could be mafsik to be moitzi others their chiyuv. Umikol makom, nevertheless, ish acher yachal lifreis al shema. A different person could be paris al shema, oy lehispalel ba'asara kol hatfila, or to daven with 10 the whole tefillah. Afilu ba'oisei beis hakneses shekvar hispalo. Even in that very shul that they davened. Lahoitzi acher midei chavasam. So let's say like this: another person could be paras al shema, or could daven with 10 people the whole tefillah, even in a shul that they already daven lahoitzi acher midei chavasam. Rak shlo yamed hachazan hasheni b'makom she'amad harishain. However, the only caveat is you should not position the second chazan in the place that the first one stands, because this would be a gnai to the earlier one. Because that's like disparaging that the first group, the first group wasn't Yaitse. So whenever you do something again, you always have to consider the fact that the connotation of repeating something indicates, well, they didn't do it right the first time. So the Ramah seems to be saying that by Mariv, which is only Rishus, there is more flexibility in terms of when you could be Paris al Shema. Someone else, we'll have to see what this means, someone else could be Paris al Shema or repeat the Shemona Esrei, provided that he doesn't stand in the same place where the first guy stood. The Ramah concludes, Venerally, Davka Sha'adayin Harishon Ve'Signeses, Ela Sheshlimu Sidra. The issue of the second guy standing in the first guy's place is where the first people are still in shul, but they finish Avalam Yatsu Rishonim, but if the first one's left, Yuchal Lamed HaChazan, the Chazan could stand, Af B'makom Sha'amad Harishain, even in a place where the first one stood. Says the Mishna Berura Sivkatan Yadal v'Hischel Avalim Lo Hischel. But if he did not start, Chayzer v'Omer Baruchu LaOisam Shabal Beis HaKnesses. But if they didn't start, he could repeat Baruchu. What does this mean? It's very interesting. That if the Chazan already said Baruch Hu and the Tzibbur started Yotzer Ar, then they can no longer be Paris al Shema because it's a hefsek. But if the Chazan just said Baruch Hu and the Tzibbur didn't start Yotzer Ar yet, that's not considered starting, and therefore, they could be parsal shema. Yachal hafsik by marav l'tzulaymer ben gula l'tfila. Dahainu achar siyam berchas hashkivenu. That is after the conclusion of hashkivenu. Uvalav hachi mafsikin gamkein b'psukim. Because otherwise, why are you allowed to be mafsik then? Because anyways, you're mafsik for psukim. Aval be'emtza habrachas lo yafsik. But in the middle of bracha, you can't be mafsik. In other words, the Mishna Berura is saying that after you said Shamar Yisrael Ad, it's not the end of the world to be paris al Shema, because anyway, you're being mafsik for the psukim of Baruch Hashem li'olam, Amen v'Amen. Says the Mishna Berura, Yatsu harishainim, v'adin imhu kvios, sheyispalu b'zeh beis hakneses kama pa'amim zeh achar zeh, in kapeda. The din that if one Tzibur daven to have a chazan go up and do the Shemana Esrei again is not an issue if you're davening in a minion factory. So recently in the five towns, finally after many years, the five towns graduated to becoming an actual Jewish neighborhood. They had a Moroccan shul came in, and it's like a replica of Shiners, and they have minyanim mincha marav every 50 minutes, and in the back there's a hot dog stand and a sushi bar and a cholent bar and a soup kitchen. You name it, you got it over there. And there's no even set nusach. There's like this float, like this rolling sign that whoever's a chazan, you just roll it to whatever nusach you are. You want Ashkenaz, you want Sfard, you want Eidos HaMizrach. So there's no issue that by repeating anything, it indicates there's something wrong with the way they did it the first time, because the whole day it's a revolving door of minyanim. So if you're davening in Ichves, the kehila of Adas Jeshurin in England, where they have a set minyan at 7:20 p.m. every single day, never before and never later, then if you dare get up afterwards, then you're indicating there's something wrong with the way they did it the first time. So it all depends on the situation. Fine. Mishna Berura Sivkatan Yodzayin. He shouldn't stand where the first guy stood. He shouldn't stand where the first guy stood. Sha'amad. V'loy oid. Not only that. Ela im ein hachazan la'achroinim. But if there's no chazan for the later ones, then yachal afilu hachazan harishain lehispalo shenis lahoitzi gam ha'achroinim. If you don't have a second chazan, then even the first chazan could daven a second time to be moitzi the other ones. Upashat. It's pashat that for this, the chazan does not have to stand before the amud the whole tefillah. Ella kishiyagil barchu, when he gets to barchu, hu yarmel lefneim kadosh ubarchu. V'achar kach yarmel ba'atzum yotzer ar b'hola. Then they could say from yotzer ar and on, ad gemar shmona esrei b'lachash, until the conclusion of the silent shmona esrei. Ki b'mekoy ma'isenu kulan b'kiyan. Because in our places, everyone's a baki, the ein noyeg in latzis bezeh, and the minhag is not to be noyeg al yidei shliach tzibur v'achar kach yamid lefnei ateva. Then you should stand before the chazah, the amud, lachsar tefillah kanog, to repeat the tefillah as is a custom, im kol hakadeshim, with all the kadeshim she'achar tefillah. Okay, sivkatan yudches harishan kasav b'mishpatei Shmuel. Let's say the first minyan took out a Sefer Torah. Ein minhag hu lashniim lahoitzi Sefer Torah pamaches v'lekrisba. Okay, what's he talking about? L'chayr is talking about like this: 10 people davened individually. They already davened, but they all missed minyan. And now they want to gather together and lein the Torah. The Mishpatei Shmuel says they're not allowed to. Why? Because what's wrong? They already leined the Torah on the shul in the morning. So it looks like a pagam on the Sefer Torah. V'nosam tamlaza, he gave a reason. Shehu mishum pegama shel sefer Torah. It's because of the pegama of the sefer Torah. Shema yomru. Maybe they'll say shamatzu psul b'sefer Torah rishayna, that they found the psul in the first sefer Torah. Umebnei kacha itziu shniyam. Because of that, they took out a second one. V'afim hi sefer Torah zu atzmai. Even if they take out the first Sefer Torah again. So now nobody's going to say there was a problem with the first Sefer Torah because it's the same Sefer Torah. People may say that it's a different Sefer Torah. Also, it's like saying that the ones who laned originally were in Yotzei. And for this reason, if the first ones got to their house, kamay havasikim, let's say the first minyan already made it home, aishu makam kvius sheisbal hamaim zachazah, or it's a show they have constant minyanim, ain't kped that there's no issue. The kolza mikach minhaga. This is all minhag. Ava min adin ain't sham isser b'chal gavne, but meyikar adin there's no isser. She'ain lachash l'bgam rishayna. There's no chash for the pagam of the first one. Unless the same people who got called up to the first Sefer Torah are being called up to the second one. And that's only if the guy gets called up to one Sefer Torah and then gets called up again immediately to a second Sefer Torah without anyone else in between. But here where there's a big hefsek, there's no isser lahalacha, but mitam minhag, you should not do it. So basically like this, if you have 10 people, they didn't lane, for them to go into a shul that has a set minyan and take out a Sefer Torah and read, it seems the minhag is not to do it. Unless it's a shul that it's like a minyan factory. If it's not a minyan factory, you go, to a big kehila shul where they have one minyan a day, and then 10 individuals come, hey, we didn't lane, and they want to lane. It's not aser me'ikar hadin, but the minhag is not to do it. Okay, Rabbi Sai, we'll pick it up tomorrow in Sif Bays. Okay, actually, just joking. We're going to finish this. Okay, that was a false alarm. Okay, Sif Bays. We're just going to finish the Siman. 2 more lines. Suma, a blind person, even though he never saw light. Purest al Shema, he could be purest al Shema. Why? He's not nena from the ma'aros. Shu nena ba ma'aros sharoy nachem. He's nena from the light that other people see. Sheyaru hadercha sheyachol yelechba. They could guide him and lead him. It says Mishna Berura, pires v'gam yuchalei l'fnei tevel tefila. A blind person can be a chazan. Kidal el b'sim nun gimel sif yadalad. Ayin sham of Mishna Berura. Yesh limnoya lekatan shlo yifres al shema. We should prevent a katan from being pires al shema. So the reason is very simple. He's a katan. He's not chayv mitzvahs. He can't be moitzi the tzibur and dvarim shabakdusha. Any kid that's 13 years old, we're not medakdik if he has 2 hairs. The berchus kriyashma the rabbanon. But of course, for parshas zachar, he would not be able to read. Okay, Rabbi Sai, have a great day. This time for real. Be well. Well done.